Hello friends and welcome back to the Dork side. I'm the Dork on the road, and today this is my review of the Vanasche Motorsports Norden 901 GPS mount. I'm the Dork on the road and I want to be your internet riding buddy, so please consider subscribing. I literally started filming this right over there, here in my front yard. This is the first video in the front yard of my new house. And a wasp stung me in the face. So you can watch, this will be a fun thing to do in this video, as it swells up right here where it stung me over the course of the video. But we're gonna get this done before that happens, theoretically. This video is sponsored by Vanasche Motorsports, who sent me this GPS unit to review. And if you remember, before I went on the Washington BDR, I headed over to Andrew's shop and he showed me around and put a bunch of cool accessories on this bike for me to use on the wobbler. So bar risers, the GPS mount we're talking about today, foot pegs, brake pedal. So check out that video and check out his website for more on the products that he makes for the Nordens and the 890s, 790s, and 697 and 1 is really his bread and butter. So if you have a KTM or a Husqvarna, I would encourage you to check out his website. But today we're going to talk about the Norden 901 GPS mount right here, this Vanasche Motorsports unit. It is CNC machined from solid billet aluminum extrusions. It has tapered wall machining and form tapped holes. It has the APMS bolt pattern, industry standard mounting pattern that works with a ton of different GPS mounts, phone mounts, basically anything you need to mount to a mount like this. That APMS pattern is what it has, and it'll work. For instance, my Zumo XT here, mounted directly to it with the factory setup that comes with the GPS unit. It comes with 4 screws, the ones you need to mount your GPS unit to the mount itself. It's designed so that your GPS sits at the same angle as your TFT display on your bike. It has a wire pass-through hole at the front of the mount so that the factory wiring can come up, particularly here on the Norden, which comes with wiring for a GPS mount or something like that, easily up through the mount, and you don't have to worry about drilling holes or anything like that to make it work. This mount is made in the USA. I toured Andrew's facility where he machines all of the parts. Everything that you order from him is made there in-house in Albany, Oregon, a mile from my old house. So we used to be neighbors, we're not anymore because I've moved. And Andrew has designed all these products. He is an engineer who creates and sells these products himself. Installing this GPS mount is very easy and quick. It's just remove the factory plug, take out the 2 screws on either side, put the GPS mount in, and put the factory screws back in. It's tight, solid, and secure. You can see the whole dash, the whole bike is moving when I do this. So I've heard some people complain about them being loose or wobbly, but the Vanasche mount doesn't do that. Some of the cheap knockoffs, there are some Chinese companies who are stealing this design and copying it with inferior materials and craftsmanship. You will see some videos with wobbly mounts, but this one, as you can see, is very solid, easy to install. The Norden, as I mentioned, comes pre-wired for an accessory such as a GPS mount, so all you have to do is attach the electric leads from your GPS mount to what's up underneath, and you can actually buy the optional pigtails for that from Andrew's website when you pick up the GPS mount. So I've had this on my bike for a month now, and I've done in that time approximately 2,500 miles. So we rode all the way up to Canada and then down the Washington BDR, spent 5 days on the BDR, and then I just got back yesterday from a trip over to Bend for the weekend, where we spent the whole time riding and training in the area around Bend, between Bend and Sisters, on rocky, sandy, ruddy, technical stuff. Lots of opportunities for this thing to fail on these extended trips and all these mileage. I have had it on the freeway, I've had it in sand, I've had it on rocky, technical, baby head hill climbs, I've had it on steep vertical descents and vertical climb. Basically given this thing every opportunity to rattle loose or come off or fail in some way, and it has not let me down at all. So overall, very impressed with this product. It's been really good for me so far. Here's what I like about it. One, the angle. I think the angle is fantastic. Because I can see it standing up. When you're riding, particularly in the backcountry, you're transitioning between standing up and sitting down a lot, and you need a GPS unit that you can see in both positions. So I didn't have any trouble while I was standing glancing down at my unit. I didn't have any trouble glancing down at the GPS to make sure I was on the right track, even while negotiating kind of difficult terrain when I needed to keep my eyes up and see where I was going. I love the look of this thing. I love that when the GPS is on there, it looks factory. I honestly don't think, if it wasn't for the logo on the side, you would even know this wasn't a genuine KTM part. It looks that good. The 2 screens stack in a great way, and I think it looks really, really good no matter what you're mounting to it. It's very easy to install. Like I said, just 2 screws, pop, pop. It takes about 10 minutes. You know, I've got footage of Andrew doing it basically in real time in that other video I mentioned. It's incredibly sturdy and heavy. I have held in my hand some of the knockoff products. They use a lower quality, less dense aluminum, and if you hold this product and that product in your hand, the Vanasche mount feels much more sturdy and substantial, and it also fits better than those mounts. I've seen plenty of videos of those being wobbly and not working well. The build quality is stellar, and I'm impressed with it, and I think if you compare to some of the other options that are out there, you're gonna find that the Vanasche mount is much better quality and is gonna last you a lot longer, in my opinion. I like the built-in wire pass-through. Some other mounts that I've seen and used, I had to actually drill a hole in the mount to bring the wiring up through. This mount accounts for that. Your wiring comes right up. It's easy to attach it to your GPS unit, no muss, no fuss. So what don't I like about it? The cons of this particular product. One, it isn't cheap. It's not horribly expensive at $100, but it is $100, and there are cheaper GPS mounts out there, but I don't think you get your money's worth with those cheaper ones the way that you do with this one. Good products cost a little more. It's a buy once, cry once situation. And you can save 20% if you use promo code Dork in the road when you buy your GPS mount on Andrew's website, which brings it down to $80, which is a hell of a deal in my opinion. This GPS mount is not adjustable. There are adjustable GPS mounts out there that will work with this same setup. I didn't find that it mattered because the angle that it's at is perfect for sitting and standing in my opinion. And some of those adjustable GPS mounts, they will eventually loosen up and move. So a solid piece is superior in many ways because you don't have that particular problem. And it only comes in two colors. So there's a blue and there's a black. So if you were looking for a white or a yellow or something to match your Norden, that's not an option at this time. I don't know if he's gonna add more colors. He's definitely experimenting with different color options. But for now, it's Husqvarna blue or just straight black like I have here. Those are your options for colors. So what's the bottom line? The final verdict on the Vanasche Norden 901 GPS mount. I'm super impressed with it. I think you can tell that. If I wasn't, it wouldn't still be on my motorcycle. I would have switched to something else and tried something else. And I've put this thing through as much in the last month as many people will put it through in a year. Like I said, 2,500 miles, entire Washington BDR, a bunch of riding in Central Oregon. This thing's going strong. I have no qualms about it. I think it's gonna last forever. So it's a simple design. It's one solid piece, which is sometimes what you need. It's the kind of product you sort of forget you have, and I mean that in a good way because it just works and does its job. If it didn't, you would definitely notice it all the time. If this was bouncing all over the place, you know, I'd be butt puckered the whole time, worried about losing my $500 GPS. When you're mounting an expensive piece of electronics to something, you want it to just work and you want to not have to mess with it, and that's what this mount does. It's been great for me. Honestly, I feel like this is the product that this bike should have come with. It should have come with a solid mount like this made of aluminum. All Andrew has done is fill a need for a product that probably Husky and KTM should have included from the get-go, but with a product that's probably superior to what they would include because, you know, all this is plastic. It works with a ton of products. That standard mount pattern is great for a phone mount or any GPS, all kinds of different GPSs. It obviously works good with the Garmin's, so that's a big plus. Super easy to install. It takes about 10 minutes, and honestly, I wish that he made mounts for all the bikes that I own because I would run them on my Tenere and on my 450L, and I'd even slap one on the kids' XT225 probably. And also, advantage to buying this is you're supporting an American company. Andrew is a one-man show in his barn. He's the creator of this product. He didn't steal it from anyone else. He's not trying to profit off anyone else's work. He's the engineer who designed them, and if you support him, you continue supporting him creating and designing new products. And Andrew's a cool guy. I like him. He's fun to hang out with. So I think you should support him, and I will continue to support him too. Bottom line, I highly recommend this mount. If you're looking for a GPS mount for your Norden, I highly recommend his 790 or 890 KTM mounts if you have one of those bikes. And I just recommend if you have a KTM or Husqvarna, you check out his website and see what else he has to offer because every one of his products that I've used have been equally good. So I will put a link to this product in the description, and I encourage you to pop over and check it out. And don't forget that you can save 20% if you pick one of these up with promo code Dork in the road. So that's 80 bucks for this mount. Highly recommend it. It's sort of a buy it for life type product. If you have any questions about the mount or how I've used it or how it's lasted, these birds have a lot of questions about the mount. You hear that? They're raving. They're like, Vanasche mount. I speak Raven. We love Andrew. Wow, that's impressive. Anyway, they say the country's quiet. It's a different kind of noise. If you have questions about the mount, you've used one yourself, please feel free to leave that in the comments. Let us know how you felt about it. But for now, and as always, I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.
Excellent!